Ready?
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that normally where we do the opening bit, Jim?
What?
We do a clapper, then the opening bit.
I'm not ready. It looks like I've got Harry down the front of me jumper. It's
that's gross.
Well, it's a bit of poached egg I had this morning. I went down a cafe and it was shut, so I had to go to another cafe. And then I was a bit late, so I rushed and I stuck my thing in the poached egg and it went on me. Cue titles. How much to insure my little Hyundai, my little runaround?
Well, I'd like to think because you've been banned about 400 times.
Well, that should make no difference. When you're banned, you don't kill anyone. No, why should it?
Of course, that makes a difference.
If you're not on the road, no, it doesn't. If you're not on the road, you can't kill anyone or have a crash, can you?
Jim,
so I've had a no-claim bonus since I was 11, right?
How have you not claimed?
I've never hit anyone.
Right, okay.
Once I hit someone up the arse.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't help it. I was pissed. No, there's a fucking woman that pulls forward in the roundabouts. Have you had this? They pull forward, so you see her go, so you're looking that way, and you go as well, and the fucker hits the brake, so you hit her up the arse.
So basically, right?
A friend of mine.
No, listen.
What?
Shut up a sec. You've just described a scenario which is totally your fault.
You've got a funny way of handling your fucking noticing, you know that.
When I was looking that way, I smashed into the car in front, and that's her fault.
That is her fault. Because she stopped. Once you go, you fucking go.
No, Jim, you have to be watching the car in front.
No. So how can you pull out then? You've got to wait for that one to go.
Well, I would
No, don't you take it in trust that when they start going forward, you're looking that way to see if there's a gap as well, and she brakes for no reason.
Have you ever thought of becoming a driving instructor?
Wind your neck in a minute. A friend of mine, listen, young lady.
Don't Lee Anderson me.
Yeah, well.
I mean, and this is where we start going into, what's discrimination and what's not. Apparently, the only demographic you can discriminate against these days is white men. They can all just go. Because every job description can go. Everybody can apply, apart from white men.
I wouldn't employ a woman anymore.
No.
Fuck that here. No, fuck that. No, because...
Well, that's really great, isn't it, as we're sat here chatting?
Well, you're not a real woman, are you? You're Vicky fucking Nash. But, no, you wouldn't. Young girls, for instance, right? Now, I spend my life going in restaurants and cafes, and you go up to these young girls, and they are fucking stupid. They're on the border of a mental breakdown. They've got anxiety, DFC, PTHD, FCA. Oh, I'm this, and they say, "Excuse me, this is awful."
But I think this is society. I think this is the way we bring people...
It's fucking women.
No, it isn't just
Why
women.
is it not mental young boys then? It is. It's young fucking girls. They're
Bullshit.
stupid as shit.
No, it's not.
No, bollocks. Listen, I'm fed up with all this fucking thing. We demand to be equal. Stop bleeding every fucking month then and you'll be equal to men. I don't go around shoving fucking Tampaxes up my bum, do I?
Well, I stick one up for you.
Why? What? Stupid, isn't it? Fucking stupid. Look at you.
Because you do my nutting.
You're due on, aren't you?
No!
Yes, you fucking are. Is that sexist?
Really?
So what's Lee Anderson done to upset this woman then?
Can I just
a
really
woman.
quickly...
It's a fucking woman. When you said, he's upset someone, I knew it'd be some fucking split arse on there pretending to be a fucking politician.
I'm just going to quickly go back to the point.
What?
It's not just women that are weak in society these days.
Tell me a man that comes on, apart from that Sam Smith.
I'm not saying
they come on.
But just people as a whole, we've rewarded sort of victimhood.
What?
So, and it's like, it's good to be a victim and it's good to talk.
It's Mike Osman. Hang on, I've got to speak with. Hello, Mike. You're live on Jim and Her. I'll put you on speaker.
Save me, Mike. Save me.
Save you?
Oh, Mike, he's bloody on one.
No, I'm not on one. She's trying to make out that women are the same as men, but we don't bleed for a month and don't die. Why is it you don't fucking die? Mike, what would Donald Trump say about the problems women have?
Men! That's our problem.
Will you wind your fucking neck in? I'm talking to the future president of America here.
Yes, that's true. You know what? I have to say, You've only got to look at Comrade Kamala Harris. Comrade Kamala Harris. That tells you everything you need to know, and I think, Jim, you are so right. So right. So right.
Oh, Mike, we.
That's why you're the greatest. You could be the next vice president. Imagine that, Donald and Jim.
Yeah.
God help us all.
Well, listen, Mike, we're so looking forward to you coming back to Ustream, and we've got a little bit.
We're going to do something in front of an audience.
We're going to do it in front of an audience in Studio 2 that we're building here now. It's going to be fantastic.
Studio 2, that sounds huge.
Yeah. Well, change it when you're here, Mr. President, to Studio 1, of course.
Of course. I don't do twos. I only do one.
You only do number
where
ones.
Where is it? Just remind me, Vicky, where you come from. Where were you born?
Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton. Do you know in Wolverhampton they eat their pets, their cats and dogs? They eat cats and dogs.
The Stephen Lawrence thing, that's one issue. You're
Yeah.
conflating issues here.
But they're trying to put that into the same thing.
Well, that's different and that's bad.
That is bad.
In terms of, sorry.
Frog in your throat. Better
Why
than
do
a
you say
toad in
that?
your hole. I love it.
God.
It's these new teeth. They make me really funny.
If, what the hell was I? You've just said
You were
about
talking
toad in
about
hole.
murderers being let out.
Yeah, you're conflating issues. In terms of all of these prisoners being let out, and you've just said, in the Good Friday Agreement, people were released.
Yeah.
That was a political negotiation, right? People were released for
Sure.
a negotiation. This isn't any sort of political negotiation. This is, oh shit, we haven't got enough space. We haven't built enough prisons. Let's just let all these people out onto the streets with no thought about what's going to happen, with seemingly no thought for their victims. I mean, there was a woman who'd written into a newspaper the other day. She was almost killed by her ex-husband. He stabbed her. She managed to escape. He's been put in prison. She just gets a letter. Soz, this bloke who tried to kill you, he's back out on the streets now. That is so unfair,
That's
and
a
there's
bit
no
scary.
thought. And you've got violent criminals, killers,
So what should have happened to
domestic
him?
abusers.
Hang on. So he tried to kill her. What happened to him? They should have put him to death, killed him, or kept him in forever?
I'm not saying kept him forever, but he's just been released onto the streets.
He's got to come out sometime.
Yeah, when he's done his sentence, Jim. We've got 10,000 foreign criminals in our prisons. Now, surely the first thing you would do if you were short on space, deport those, right?
Right.
Surely that would be a starting point. I know you're going to say, but then we'll get people
We'll get
coming
the
back.
ones that are in Spanish prisons. We'll
Right.
get all the Brits back.
But then we've also then got, which we've seen recently, you've got people being jailed for 2 years for putting hurty words on social media.
That's
and I
crazy.
will never, ever agree. I will say, I think some of the things these people
Did all the
wrote
judges
were
think,
not very nice.
they all get together, the judges, and say, I'll tell you what we do, we're going to judge this case. Someone's phoned up the judges and said, look, if these people rioters come up, we want you to give them maximum
This
thing.
is the thing.
Give
It was
them
very
the full
much
fucking work.
let's
And we'll
make
give you
an
a little
example.
knighthood a bit later, a little OBE or something like that.
It just seems like it was very much let's make an example of these people, right? And so the rest of you plebs,
Stops
right?
the rioting,
You
though, isn't it?
stop. Well, this is what it was proving a point, wasn't it? And it was saying, but I really don't. We're not in North Korea yet,
Squeal.
and seeing these people, they are not a danger to society. Seeing these people behind bars when you've got killers being released early, the optics of that are just so wrong.
Yeah.
And then you've got Sadiq Khan with his genius idea going, I tell you what we should do. We should let these prisoners who've been released early, let them jump the social housing queue above families
So they
and
don't
hard-working citizens.
reoffend again. Well, I mean, that is
Come on,
taken.
Jim.
How do you cure reoffending? So, okay, hear me out. You're in prison, okay, and you're in prison for robbing a shop, okay? And you've got 5 years to do, right? I'd say to you, I'm going to let you out tomorrow, and I'm going to give you £20,000 a year to not break the law for the next 5 years.
That's what you do, is it?
How much would it cost to keep you in prison?
it ain't
Hang
about...
on, hear me out. Answer the question. How much on
More
average
than that,
for
more
a
than
prisoner?
that, more than that.
38,000.
Right.
So I've saved 18 grand by
Yeah,
letting
but do
you
you know
out.
what you've done? You've given people the incentive to commit crime, to get in prison so you can get back out and the government will give you 20 grand a year, right? That's what you're doing. You're teaching people to be bad. You know, I do believe in education and in getting them qualifications and learning this. And I do think there's ways people should be rehabilitated. They are going to be back out on the streets at some point. What I don't believe in is that you've committed a crime, you've broken the law, you come out and get more than a hard-working, law-abiding citizen. There are families on the housing waiting list who've been on there for years.
Yeah.
And then you look at someone going, hang on, he's jumped ahead of me because he's been in prison and released.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not right. Nothing's right, is it?
This winter fuel allowance, obviously that was brought in by Gordon Brown. You would never believe that was maintained by by consecutive Conservative governments, and then Labour are the party
Well, do you know
to
why they
have
kept it?
taken
Because
that
they
away.
get headlines like this.
Well, but these MPs are on 90 odd grand a year claiming
It's not a lot.
those. I'm not saying it is a lot, actually. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is an astonishing wage for being public servants. But then all of the expenses they have on top, including thousands to heat their second homes, etc. And you've got a pensioner on 13 grand, £221 a week is the pension, and that is considered too much to be able to claim this allowance.
£200 a week?
Yeah, that's what they get as a pension. £221, and you
don't
have
get
to
that,
earn
do I?
218
I probably
or
do.
less. But all these MPs claiming, I mean, you heard what they did when they thought the Conservatives were going to get rid of this allowance. You're killing you're killing our grannies. You're a disgrace. Our pensioners will freeze to death. There's going to be at least 4,000 pensioners die.
No, there won't. There'll be just less of them going to bingo.
Oh, stop it, Jim. Stop being heartless. And then they bring it in, and they're desperately trying to defend it, and you go, you know, you're in the wrong. You know, and for what? For 1.6 billion, and when you're spaffing 11.6 billion on overseas climate aid,
I don't get that.
Billions more on public sector pay rises, and all these MPs apparently, they're in floods of tears voting. Well, don't vote for it then, but stick by your morals.
You should be an MP.
I believe I've got the integrity to do
Why
it.
don't
If I was a Labour MP that day, I would have.
Shall I have a word with the reform guys and say, look, I've got just a bird for you to stand in Wolverhampton?
Yes. These wealthy people, these business owners, these wealth creators, the people who employ people, the people who are the backbone of this economy, they all bugger off. Where is this money coming from? Where do people think this money's coming from? And this is socialism. This is the issue with socialism, and it's why it doesn't work. As Margaret Thatcher said, the problem with socialism is you eventually run out of somebody else's money. And all it ever does is level down. It never levels up. It just brings everybody down. And you can see it in action already after just a few weeks.
What did Lee do? Come on, tell me.
So God, how many times have we started this, Harley? Part 453.
Looking for some backup and an audience, are we?
So,
a couple of days, I reckon, before she
Lord.
reaches into the handbag and takes one of them things out.
Takes what out?
A camera, photograph thing. Go on. Sugar
So there
mouse.
was, oh my God. I'm going to kill him. The murder of Jim Davidson captured on TV. This is it. This is the moment.
There's a queue.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, there is a queue. But I'm jumping straight to the front like Sadiq Khan wants the prisoners to.
Push Tash out the way first.
Get out the way, I'm having him first.
Tash out the way, I'm having first.
I deserve this.
Right, go on, what happened to Lee?
So, there was a female guest on Martin Daubney's GB News show. She's a left-wing political commentator, Rebecca Reid. She appears a lot.
How old?
In her 30s. So she appears a lot on GB News. I think GB News these days sort of has a lot more left-wing guests just to sort of appease the haters. So anyway, whether you...
And the advertisers.
And the advertisers, yeah. So Lee was on there, she was on there, and she sort of accused him of working in Parliament for himself and saying you're not representing your constituents. You are essentially just representing yourself. You're saying things that you believe, but you haven't listened to your constituents. To which he said, hang on, no, a lot of people in my constituency agree with me, and this is, but of course, not everyone does, because as an MP you can't speak for everyone, because of course there'll be people with different views. To which she then started talking over him, and he then said, listen, young lady. To which she took great offence.
Why? She got a cock? What?